Lead us off a little bit. What do you think about this afternoon?
I mean, it was a pretty good day. Hopefully, I feel like my mic is.
It's fine. Your mic's fine. It's just
Is
a
it?
speaker.
Are you sure?
Trust me
Okay,
on this,
got it.
yeah.
You would know. I've not been in here, so I definitely don't know. But it was an okay day. You know, disappointing, I think, for the way it finished for us, just because there was a great opportunity in the middle to win this race. I think at the end, Alex, had the field covered. He's very good in that final stint, so I don't think we were going to make anything happen there. But in the middle, there was a great opportunity, and we just didn't capitalize on it. Got pretty dicey with those restarts. I'm conflicted. On one hand, I'm super pleased because it was a great recovery from all of us on Team Penske. We started this weekend in pretty bad shape. We were really far off the pace, and we chipped away at it. We did a lot of work, and I felt like we got really close in qualifying, and then we had a very good race car. So from that standpoint, I'm elated, but just disappointed that it looked like we had an opportunity today, and we just weren't able to really seal the deal. But it was a great job from our team.
Pato, your thoughts on no Podium here in 2023?
Yeah, it was a hard-fought podium for my 5 camp. We were a bit of a ping pong ball in the start of the race in turn 1 and turn 3, and then got shuffled back even more. So we had to pass everybody on track, and obviously happy with the result, but I think we all need to be better if we want to catch the 10 car. That's just the reality of it. And I think same as Josef, we had a massive opportunity to capitalize and I think to win this race, because I feel like I definitely had the pace, but we kind of threw that away in our last pit stop. So we're just gonna keep on fighting. We win together, we lose together, and that's how it's always gonna be. So I'm excited for the 9 races to come. It's still a long championship, lots can happen, but we just need to keep improving.
I know you haven't had a chance to look at some of the numbers coming out of this race. The passing stats are through the roof. Obviously, some cars going off, and that adds to that. But 444 on-track passes in this race. 386 were for position. 110 came in the top 10 today, and there were 32 in the top 5. All these are smashing the numbers. IndyCar started recording these numbers in 2016 when it returned to Road America. Both of you just kind of speak to the competition of this series and the crazy action that you guys saw on the racetrack today.
I mean, it was an unbelievable race. I think as a driver, not always what you want. You want to just be out front, kind of a, green from start to finish, just an easy day. But if you're a fan, this is a very difficult race. There was just a lot that happened. Pato, like you spoke about, people were shuffling forward and backwards, and restarts were bringing different action. The tires were bringing something different for people. It was possible to pass, like very much so. It raced really well. And there was a lot of unknowns going into the new surface on how it would race. And I think today, I don't know how you could have asked for a much better of a race. So from that standpoint, it was more stressful for us, and hopefully the fans, really enjoyed the action of it.
How are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yes, you agree.
And I agree with that with every race. Like every race is just, you never know what to expect in IndyCar. You do, and you just don't.
Everybody on Zoom, stand by. We'll try to take your questions as soon as we can. We'll start in person. Bruce, lead us off.
Pato, start of the race, green flag, you get down in turn 1, next thing you know, you feel this hit in the rear, you start to think, man, it's a little early for this.
No, but I mean, it's obviously not ideal. I was just hoping that my attenuator was fine, because if they get like a bit more under you, then your gearbox is kind of done. So that would have been miserable. But thankfully it wasn't, and I had the chance to fight my way through, and I enjoyed it. I had fun.
And for the two of you, how difficult was it not knowing the way the tires were necessarily going to work? Because even talking to your engineer before the race, they weren't quite sure. They just knew that it was almost like everything was upside down tire-wise at this track compared to other tracks.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of unknowns, a lot of questions to answer that I think we all had an idea on, but you don't know until you really run full stints and full fuel in the car and everybody's equal. So it was kind of a somewhat of a guess, and then hopefully we make the right guess. But it seemed like everybody had the same idea going into the race. That's why you saw everybody start on blacks for the most part. And it was a little upside down. You know, the black sidewall was just a better tire, you know, all around. The red had some potential in the beginning, but it definitely had, you know, more fade, more degradation. So, you know, I think that made it exciting. I mean, the way the tires stacked up, it was very raceable on both compounds, and, you know, the primary was just a little better today.
I know the season's only not even halfway over, but I think the points lead's now like 71 for Alex. Just what's it going to take to make it kind of an up for grabs race toward the end of the season in terms of the point standings?
Win races.
But you think it's still?
Yeah, if you win 9 more races, yeah, you can do it.
You probably win by 200 points if you won 9 races straight. So even, yeah, I mean, it's pretty wide open still.
We'll go Wolfgang, Chris, then Patrick, and then Dave. Go ahead.
Joseph, question, actually 2 questions for you. If I understood correctly, shortly after the race, you said in the interview you enjoyed or you liked the old configuration better. But when you came here, I think you were informed, like all your other drivers, that there was a new pavement. What did you expect when you said we have to race on a new pavement?
Well, I'm biased. I'm an old surface fan.
Okay.
Anywhere we go, you know, I don't like new pavement at any track, but it is a different challenge than what you get on an old surface. You know, I think as a team we are not excelling on smooth surfaces, particularly something like this. So it's in our control to make better. You know, as a team we've got to figure out a better formula for our cars with this type of track. I think this weekend just cemented that for us. You know, we've already felt that way at previous tracks, and you know, running through this weekend and the test last week, we definitely confirmed that we have a weakness on these type of surfaces. So we knew that going in. We knew it was going to be new. I love Road America. Still love it just as much as I loved it in the past. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick my choice, then I always liked old track. So but that's a personal opinion.
But the pavement is still relatively fresh. Let's say, speculation-wise, next year, same times, with more races, more rubber, maybe we are back to the old situation.
Definitely not. No.
No.
No, the old surface was old. I don't know how old, but it must have been 15, 20 years. So.
96.
When was it? 95?
95
It's
was
even
last
more.
race day.
Geez, that's like 20, what is that,
Almost 30.
30 years? No, so it'll take quite a while to get back to what we were in the past. It'll set in, you know, I think you put 3, 4, 5 years on it, then it'll start to come back, but it's just a new style of track. And I think it's in our control to make better. We as a team are just not good enough on these type of tracks, so we've got to figure out where our weakness is there.
Let's go Dave and then Chris. Hang on. Or Chris, sorry.
I mean, Joseph, you said it, you could pass today. I think after yesterday, we would have been surprised if people were talking about, you know, going 2 wide through 5 and whatnot. What happened? Why was passing doable today?
I think a lot of it was the tire. You know, you had degradation in the tire, particularly early in the race. As the track gripped up, that got tougher because you had less deg at the end of the race. But you know, early on with different compounds, the red was weaker, which gave opportunities, and even on the primaries, they would wear out, and that gave people opportunities. And I think just in general, you know, the cadence of the driving of the track with this higher grip, there was still great opportunity to pass people. You know, there was a lot of drag on the car, so you could get runs on people. You know, you could use overtake, and it was effective. There's just a lot of reasons why. I don't think it's one thing or another, but you know, we're definitely going to leave here going, yeah, this place races really well. You could start 15th and pass forward. You know, it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to win, but you can pass forward today.
This is Blaine Perkins, driver of the number 9 Raceline Wheels CR7 Motorsports Chevy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.